Hello, I'm Jerry, and I'm going to read a scary book. So, this book's called Some Things Are Scary. Okay? So, before I start this, can you name some things that you're scared of? I can tell you a few. I wrote down a few. More when I was a very young kid, like you, like maybe you. Depends on if the adults, the grown-ups, are watching this too. So when I was a kid, I was scared of having a Band-Aid removed off my arm. I was a hairy kid. Okay, so you know, it pulls your hair sometimes on your arms or wherever you have it. You know, it's usually on your arm, your hand, your fingers. It won't hurt very much, but arms, something like that, or your knee. If you fall and you scrape your knee or your shin is below your knee. So and when I was a kid, my parents moved around a lot, so going to a new state, it was actually not really that scary, but the scary part was I had to start a new school. Okay, when you move away and you got to start a new school, you're not going to know any of the other kids in there. You're not going to know the teachers either. So sometimes that can be scary too. But eventually you're going to make a friend, you know. So, and then after you make one friend, then you're going to make more friends. You're going to meet other new kids. And yeah, you're not probably going to be the only new kid there. So who knows? You might meet other new kids. But there's a couple things that was scary to me when I was younger. But so this is a book by this information's for the parents more. Florence Parry Heide, illustrated by Jules Pfeiffer. So, let's see, what does this say on the back? Warning: people prohibited, adventurers arrested, wise guys remanded, ingrates incarcerated, trespassers tortured, children condemned. What kind of book is this? Okay. Kind of odd. Okay, so parents are just going to have to decide whether or not you're old enough to hear this story, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So this is how it starts off. It just jumps right into it. This lady here's hugging this child, and it says, getting hugged by someone you don't like is scary. She looks like she likes him. She looks like a very nice lady. Sometimes you gotta give people a chance. You just never know. They might turn out to be somebody that you actually do like, you know. So you gotta give people a chance sometimes. Seeing something on your plate you know you're not going to like is scary. You don't know what that is. it does look kind of scary, doesn't it? It looks like a loofah. Do you know what a loofah is? Yeah, I mean, not everybody likes the same things, same kind of foods, right? So usually parents know it's not going to be something that you're going to like, so you usually don't have to eat things that you don't. Your parents are going to want you to eat your dinner, so they usually won't put a scary thing on your plate, you know. So so stepping on something squishy when you're in your bare feet is scary. He's stepping on something squishy there. You can't tell what it is, but that would be kind of scary. And bare feet too. I mean, you're gonna feel it, right? So you gotta watch where you step. For one thing, don't get distracted watching squirrels running around and end up stepping on something squishy. So be careful where you walk. Holding on to someone's hand that isn't your mother's when you thought it was is scary. Yeah, that would be kind of scary. This hand is kind of scary. These look like claws, you know? I don't know what this is. I guess it's a bracelet or something. So, yeah, you gotta watch out whose hand you grab. Make sure it is your mother's hand. And if they hold on to your hand, that would be scary. You might want to scream out for your mom if that happens, because yeah, that could be more than scary. Seeing a big warning sign and you can't understand what it says, ask a grown-up, because you want to know what that says. It could be something that could be dangerous. You don't know what that says. It could mean that they don't, it's not safe. So you want to make sure that you find out what it says before you enter an area that says that. Warning. Okay? Skating downhill when you haven't learned how to stop. That's not a good idea. You're going to want to know how to stop before you commit to going down a hill, before you decide to go down a hill. Because you don't know, maybe you do know what's at the bottom, but could be that you don't, and you don't want to find out by hitting it hard on your skates. See, he's got skates. So be careful. Learn how to stop. He does have knee pads on, so at least he has that much, but he doesn't have a helmet on. And if he falls, he could really get hurt. So he needs to make sure he's got the right kind of protective type of gear. Helmets, sometimes goggles, knee pads, stuff like that. So waiting to jump out and say boo at someone. That can be fun, but when you don't know when they're going to come around the corner, that could be scary. Knowing that someone is waiting to jump out and say boo at you is scary. Yeah, if you know they're hiding around the corner and they're getting ready to try to scare you, that could be scary. Thinking you're not going to be picked for either side is scary. When playing games, they're picking teams. When I was a little kid, That was one of my fears, that I wouldn't be picked. And sometimes I wasn't. But that's when you have to prove them wrong. Show them that you can play the game, you know, and do your best. And sometimes, who knows? You could be good at it. You might not be. Maybe it's not your game. That does happen. I was good at a game called, dodgeball. And if I found out I wasn't good at it, then I didn't really, you know, want to play. It wasn't my game. I found other stuff that I was better at and I enjoyed. So find the game that you really enjoy playing. If you enjoy playing something that you're not good at, then practice. Get better at it. See the picture? Being on a swing when someone is pushing you too high is scary. Yeah, look how high that dude's going up. Look how high he's going up in the air. There's the hands pushing him. This person down here needs to be make sure that person's a responsible person when they push you, not just one of your ornery friends, because you could get hurt. So yeah, that would be scared. So make sure you have the right person pushing you. Getting a shot is scary. Let me tell you, when I was a kid, even when I got to be an older kid, and even an old man like I am now, I was still scared of shots. But I'm not scared anymore. As long as they're in my arm, I don't mind. So, and they don't hurt. They don't hurt anymore. You know, you hardly feel them. So, shots in the arm, you ain't got to worry about those. Telling a lie, ooh, telling a lie is scary. Yeah, that can get you in a lot of trouble. You don't want to tell lies. So try to tell the truth. Because if you tell a lie and your mom or dad finds out, it's really going to be scary. So always tell the truth. Stepping down from something that is higher than you thought it was. Ooh, that would be me. Climbing up a ladder, getting on top of a house to fix something. Then not realizing I'm up that high and go to step down. Yeah, it's far down just to get to the ladder sometimes. But this is, let's see, what does this mean? Stepping down from something that is higher than you thought it was. It could be like a wall or something, you know, like when a park sometimes have a concrete wall that goes on the grass, and then you step off of it. There's a sidewalk down below. Could be something like that, and you go to step off of it and don't realize it's so high. Smelling a flower and finding a bee was smelling it first. Well, that's scary. But bees, wasps, a lot of those type of things, depends on, you know, you don't want to swat at them, because sometimes that makes them mad, and then they chase you, and then it really gets scary. So you want to make sure that that there's no bees in the flower first, because he was there first. He was smelling the flower first before you did. You just didn't know he was there because you didn't knock on the door of the flower and say, is there anybody in there? You got to check first. See the picture? What's next? Being with your mother when she can't remember where she parked the car is scary. Your mother must be stressing out a little bit. She must be really panicking, or she's mad, she's upset that she can't find the car. So her getting mad and upset is probably making you scared, huh? So if you're old enough to say, Mom, calm down. It's okay, we'll find it. That way you're being the grown up. So yeah, he looks worried, doesn't he? Let's see the mom's face. She doesn't look that worried. I don't know. Discovering that your hamster cage is empty is scary. Make sure that door on that cage is locked. It doesn't matter what kind of animal it is. Make sure that if you have them in a cage, make sure it's locked, because your mom might not like a hamster running around the house. Because a lot of ladies, if they look like a rat or a mouse, they don't do well with that. My wife does not like rats or mice. She's very, very scared of them. I can't even hardly show her a picture of one before she gets upset. So some ladies are like that. So, and you don't want him getting hurt. If he's your pet, and you know wanting to get stepped on or run over the vacuum cleaner or whatever, you got to make sure he stays safe in his cage. So make sure that door is locked. Getting scolded is scary. Do you know what scolded means? It means that your parents are usually getting, they're upset with you because you've done something bad. So they're getting on to you. They're telling you what you did wrong and that you shouldn't do it anymore. That's what that means. So here's the hamster cage. See it open? And then over here and down below here is this little guy getting in trouble. See? If you're a good kid, you won't get scolded. You won't get in trouble. Actually, my little boy, he's all grown up now, but he was a good little boy. I never had to hardly get on to him about anything. I never had to hardly ever scold him. His mom took care of that job. No, she didn't have to hardly, tell him he's been bad either. So just listen to your parents, Thinking, what if you'd been born a hippopotamus? Do you know what hippopotamus is? They look like that. What if you were born a hippopotamus? It says it's scary. Thinking, what if you'd been born a hippopotamus? What if I was born a hippopotamus? So, see, there's just some doctors and nurses standing around after a baby was born, and it ends up being a hippopotamus. So if you were born a hippopotamus, you'd be able to swim really, really good. You'd be a natural swimmer, because hippopotamuses live in the water mostly, and they go underwater and like they eat fish. They got these big teeth, big teeth. I don't know. Some kids might want to be a hippopotamus, Finding out your best friend has a best friend who isn't you is scary. Here's your best friend over here with his new best friend. Well, you can have more than one best friend. He's got, evidently, you're his best friend, and now he's got another best friend, so you can do the same. You know, find you another friend that you can call your best friend. So, you know, don't let that be scary. You can solve that problem by finding another friend as well as that other friend. So playing hide and seek when you are it and you can't find anyone. Where did everybody go? That is scary. He's out in the woods. What is he doing out in the woods? That's dangerous. You might get lost out there. That would be scary. Yeah, you want to make sure you're playing hide and seek in the right area, you know? So that would be scary. You can't find anybody. Maybe you went too far. Everybody's hiding way over that way, and you're looking in the woods for people. So yeah, that would be scary. Having your best friend move away is scary. Excuse me. There he goes. His best friend is moving away. It would be scary for your best friend to move away. It'd be sad too, because that's your best friend. But when, you know, he's scared too. So when he gets to the new place, he's going to be missing his friend, just like you're missing him or her, you know, whoever we're talking about here. So eventually, he's going to have to find another friend wherever he moves to. And now that your best friend's gone, you know, you guys can write back and forth, but now now you need to find another friend. See? You can't just have that one friend. You got to make more friends. Thinking about a big bird with big teeth who might swoop down and carry you away. Well, those birds aren't around anymore. That looks like a pterodactyl right there. That's a dinosaur type bird, prehistoric. So those things don't exist, so don't be scared of that. And usually birds don't have teeth anyway. All they have is a beak. But so actually, I can't think of a bird that does have teeth. But that would be scary if you thought that a bird was getting ready to, you know, the very large bird was getting ready to come down and try to attack you. Yeah. So you might, you know, just watch for those big birds. They're usually a bird called an eagle or a hawk, and the eagles they're pretty good sized birds, but they're usually not big enough to carry. Usually not big enough to carry you away. So, but it would be scary. Brushing your teeth with something you thought was toothpaste, but it isn't, is scary. Yeah, spit that out right now. If you're brushing your teeth with something and it ends up not being toothpaste, spit it out into the sink, because that's scary. You don't know what that is. You're not supposed to swallow toothpaste anyway, so this stuff you definitely wouldn't be swallowing. So you don't want to swallow any of it. You don't know what it is. So yeah, spit it out real quick. Reaching under your bed for your shoes and grabbing something you don't know what is scary. If you're reaching under your bed trying to get your shoes and you get a hold of something that feels kind of scary, pull your hand back out real fast, because you don't know what that is. That would be scary. That would be scary for me now. So Yeah, I always look under the bed real good, take a flashlight. Make sure that there's nothing scary underneath there before I grab my shoes. Looking in the mirror while you're having a haircut and they're cutting it too short. Here's the picture of him reaching under the bed. You see him scared? And this up here is the toothpaste. See him brushing his teeth, and he's like got this face on. Well, over here is where he's getting a haircut, and the barber is cutting way too much. That's a pair of scissors. See the scissors? First off, your parents are supposed to tell the barber how they want it cut. So, I was always scared to go get my hair cut when I was little, because I liked my hair long, a little bit longer, and I was afraid that they were going to cut it off too short, you know. So yeah, when they cut it off, you know, and then they give you a haircut, and you're noticing it's getting cut way too short, there's nothing you can do about it. It's done. You can, when you get home, ask your parents. Say, Mom, Dad, why did you let the barber cut too much of my hair off? See if you can get an answer out of them. Thinking you're never going to get any taller than you are right now. When I was little, my goal was to be able to see on top of the refrigerator. And I knew that one day I would be able to see on top of that refrigerator. And then I would be a big boy then. I still can't see on top of the refrigerator. I'm hoping I grow some more, because I still can't see up there. I'm still short, so sometimes that happens. But it can be scary if you don't think you're going to get any taller than what you are. So you got to be patient. Just got to be patient. Having to tell someone your name and they can't understand you and you have to spell it is scary. I wonder, what is he talking about? That he can't spell? That he doesn't know how to spell his name? Usually kids by then can spell their name. If they can't spell their name and they're trying to tell a stranger what their name is and they can't understand you, your parents need to be nearby. So you shouldn't be in that situation. Having to tell someone your name and they can't understand you and you have to spell it. That's interesting. You might be in another country if they can't understand you. So I don't know. That's I don't know what that means, but it would be scary if they're asking you, having to tell someone your name and they can't understand you. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know what that means, but it would be scary. Knowing your parents are talking about you and you can't hear what they're saying. They're in there talking about you. Well, you don't. It doesn't have to necessarily be scary. They could be saying good things. That you did good. You know, a good job today. You took out the trash. you know? I don't know what they could be saying that could make you scared. But he looks scared, doesn't he? Having people looking at you and laughing and you don't know why is scary. All these people are looking at him and laughing and he doesn't know why. When that's happened to me before, I run into the restroom and I look, you know, make sure I don't have anything, you know, hanging out my nose, or I don't have a mean sign on my back, or, you know, that would, you know, it's scary until you find out why they're laughing. So you might want to, you know, find out what it is. Find a friend and say, why are those people laughing at me? You know, make sure I don't have a sign on my back or something, or I don't have a booger hanging out my nose or something, you know. So yeah, find out why they're laughing. Then it won't be scary anymore. Climbing a tree when you don't remember how to get down is scary. That's kind of like the other picture where it showed, you know, skating down the hill when you don't know how to stop. This is another situation. Make sure that you have experience. You know how to get down. You know how to climb down. Sometimes climbing up trees can be dangerous. You got to be careful. Some trees are very tall. Look at this. Look at the trees. They're small. He's looking down at the trees. He's really, really high up there. I would be scared. I'm scared of heights. I don't like going up too high. So, yeah, I would be scared. Even some adults, even some of the grown-ups are scared of some of these things. So, you kids aren't the only ones that are scared. Being with your parents in an art museum and thinking you're never going to see the exit sign is scary. Your parents enjoy art, and they took you to this art museum, but you don't want to be there, obviously, because you're wanting to see the exit sign. You don't want to look at this art anymore. Well, maybe you're too young. Maybe you just don't like art. Every kid's different. Every kid's going to grow up liking different things. So your parents shouldn't have took you to the art museum. I'd be wanting to, I might be wanting to get out of there too, but me, I like art. So I liked, when I was little, I liked to draw and stuff. So I like the color, and sometimes seeing pictures can be fun. So it just depends on if it's something that you like or not. So knowing you're going to grow up to be a grown-up is scary. There's a little kid in a grown-up's clothes, and he's scared. He's scared to think that he's going to grow up one day and he's going to be an adult, or dad, or mom. That can be scary to think about if you're old enough to think that way, to think that you're going to grow up, you know, eventually you're not going to be a kid anymore. That is scary. Yeah. So I'm scared now as a grown-up. So, but I'm also happy. So it's not all that bad being a grown-up. One day you'll be a grown-up, and you don't need no reason to be scared. So there you go. All right. I hope that you found this a fun book to listen to. This is my first book that I'm going to read, trying to figure out how to go about doing this for kids. So adults that are watching, you know, you tell me how I did. I'm gonna need some constructive criticism about this if I'm gonna do it anymore. But this book is a little confusing to me. I don't know what age group this is aiming toward, so it's hard for me to figure out how to read this to the children. I read to my son when he was little, and I read it, you know, I was always I try to make it funny to him, you know, so this book here was kind of confusing me on trying to be logical in my reading, and it's hard to know how to read books like this when you don't know what the age group is you're reading to. So anyway, there you go. What'd you think of that? This is almost like, this is a book that parents should read to their kids and explain each thing, you know, and I don't know, but very interesting. Okay, well, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I enjoyed reading it. But yeah, all right. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this, and if kids can enjoy it. But all right, see you on the next one.